Hi there, welcome to Arts at a Distance. I'm Miss Noelle. I am the Arts Education Consultant with the Merced County Office of Education. And today we're going to be bringing you some Theater Thursday. Now, theater is absolutely my genre. I've worked in theater and performed in theater for a very long time. And so I'm super excited to be bringing you guys some stuff today. We're going to work first on some warm-ups. Then we are going to slip into a very quick memorization that we can kind of change out one piece of that will affect the way the rest of it is read. So we're practicing with some monologue work, which means that as we change something about the monologue, the rest of the monologue changes as well, right? So we're working on acting and reacting, some listening skills, all that other good stuff, okay? First things first, as we go through our warm-up, what I would like you to do is, I would like you to take both hands. We're gonna put them together. We're gonna warm up our hands, okay? Because what I like to start with as we begin is actually warming up the face. We're gonna make some funny faces and warm up our jaw, give ourselves a jaw massage. We don't often thank our jaw during the day for all the very hard work that it does for us, helping us speak and control our breath. It holds a lot of tension for us. So we are going to say thank you and give it a little massage and help it relax. Good job. Then we're going to work with our face specifically. Your face is one of the things that helps you emote to your audience, right? You can be feeling everything under the sun, but if you're not showing it, either with the way you're speaking or with your face, then what are we doing exactly, right? So let's practice stretching out our face a little bit. I want you to make your face nice and tiny. Imagine the tiniest fruit possible, like a lemon. Tiny lemon face, just like that. And then you're gonna bring your face out and make it the biggest fruit possible, which is, in my mind, a watermelon. Bah! Good. And then lemon face, watermelon face, bah! Lemon face, watermelon face, bah! Just like that. We're stretching out our face, and that helps us be able to utilize our eyes, our cheeks and mouth, our chin and our jaw as we choose what we're emoting during the monologue or during any acting performance, right? Let's work on enunciation real quick, okay? Repeat after me. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue. Again, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue. I want to hear the F in of. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue. Good. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Unique New York. Unique New York. You know you need unique New York. Good, not bad. Now we're gonna put one hand on the top of our head, and on a K sound, like the word key, we're gonna go from the top of our vocal range, which is way up here, and we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom of our vocal range, which is way down here. And then we get to reset the roller coaster. Put our hand back on top of our head. So this particular exercise is important because we want access to all parts of that range. Now here's what always happens. I warn you in advance. My boys, when they do this, like to start not up here, but rather right around here. And then they'll go nice and low. My girls do the opposite. They start up nice and high, and then they'll trail off right around the chest area. Everybody has a range that goes up and down. The length of that range or the width of that range is variable, but I know we have more than what we think we have, okay? So I want to hear you stretch. I want to hear you go as high as you can, as low as you can, and I want to hear it be as smooth as possible in between. We're training ourselves to be able to access all of those points. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now reset. Thank you. So that was just a quick little warm up to get us started. We're gonna do a quick memorization right now. What that means is that you don't have to memorize it necessarily, but it's pretty simple and it'll stay the same way the entire time. The monologue is this. I put my money in her hand. Can you say that? Repeat after me. I put my money in her hand, and she was just so, say that too. And she was just so good. So during that space, we can change the word, the adjective that we are using to describe this person, right? We can say she was just so greedy. We can say she was just so happy. We can say she was just so mean. We can say all kinds of those things, right? Those are the three we're gonna go with today, but you can put any description of her and her behavior into that word. I put my money in her hand and she was just so blank. The rest of the monologue goes like this. My day went on and nothing was different, but somehow everything changed. Say that with me again. My day went on and nothing was different, but somehow everything changed. Okay? So those are just two sentences with one empty space. But the way that we use that empty space tells us how the rest of the monologue is going to go, correct? So let's start by using the word greedy. And then we're going to ask ourselves some questions and talk about how we should be doing this monologue if the word is greedy, okay? Now, we put the word greedy in there, which means it goes, I put my money in her hand, and she was just so greedy. My day went on, and nothing changed, or nothing was different, but somehow everything changed. Okay, so the first question we want to ask ourselves is, who is she? We can make any answer to this. Let's say in this case, she is my sister. I put my money in her hand and she was just so greedy. What is the situation? She is my sister. I put my money in her hand. Let's say, for example, that she is borrowing money from me, right? She's asked me for money. I've agreed to give her money. That's what's happening now. And she is just so greedy. The third question is, how does her behavior make me feel? If she is behaving in a way that looks greedy to me, I think I'm gonna feel taken advantage of. I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna feel a little bit icky and like I wish I hadn't done that. A little regretful, a little resentful. So let's change the reading, okay? I put my money in her hand and she was just so greedy. My day went on, nothing was different, but somehow everything changed, right? So the way that she and her behavior affects me means the reading of that monologue is different. Let's try it again with a different adjective in there. This time, let's say the word is happy. I put my money in her hand and she was just so happy. My day went on and nothing was different, but somehow everything changed. Okay, so who is she? This time, let's just make it up. Let's say that she is a stranger. Just a stranger. Let's say that she hasn't been asking for money, but that you can see that she needs it. I'm thinking about potentially someone who is playing an instrument on the corner, a busker, right? She's got her guitar, she's playing her instrument, and there's maybe a cup in front of her that would normally take a dollar bill or some change, but instead, you like her music so much that you're going to put your money in her hand. And she is going to be so nice that it's going to change everything. So if someone takes my money and behaves to me in a way that is kind and genuine, the rest of my day is going to get better. I'm going to feel I'm going to feel more full of energy. I'm going to feel more full of kindness and love. And so that's what we're going to go with right now. We're going to go with the idea that the way that she changed my day was by brightening it, okay? So we've got who she is, we've got what the situation is, and we've got how we feel. So let's do the monologue again. Ready? I put my money in her hand, and she was just so nice. My day went on, and nothing was different, but somehow everything changed. How did you feel about that reading? I know from my perspective, I felt myself smiling more. I could feel that happiness coming literally out of my face. I noticed that physically I was more open. My shoulders were back a little more. I didn't want, as much as in the first reading, I felt icky, so I wanted to kind of close off and be less vulnerable. And this time I felt more comfortable being open, right? So all of that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna do one more just for our benefit, and then I'm gonna let you guys go off and find your audience. By find your audience, of course, I mean pick somebody in your house that you would like to try this with. Maybe have them choose a relationship or a situation about who she is and what's going on at that moment, as well as choose the adjective to put in there and see how that changes the monologue for you, okay? So our last adjective that we're gonna be using is the word mean. Now, when someone is mean or makes you feel like what they've just done is a mean thing, obviously that affects you. We've all been in those situations where we are deeply affected by someone who's been mean. I want to very purposefully point out right now that when I say mean, I'm not saying behavior that you don't like. I'm saying mean to you. I think a lot of us are probably in situations right now where people around us, be they grown-ups or siblings or family members or pets or whatever, we've been in this situation for so long that we're starting to get on each other's nerves, right? No matter how big your house or your land or your space is or how tiny it is, you're going to end up tripping over each other when you are stuck in a small space, right? Or any one space. So I would like you to separate away from that, the idea that because you didn't get what you wanted or because this didn't end up in your favor, that was mean. And instead, we're gonna go back to a time where someone actually was mean. I know it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. I am sorry that it's happened to you. It's my goal to never have anyone have to experience something like that. But since I know we all have, now is a good time to kind of dig a little bit and come up with that feeling. So as we're digging, as we're kind of thinking about what feeling that brings up for us, let's place some parameters on who she is and what the situation is. At this point, we've already been through sister or a close family member. We've been through a stranger. Let's go with someone in like a service industry. What if she is your server at a restaurant, okay? She has served you through the whole meal. Let's go ahead and say that it's been fine. Like I know nothing has come up or down. There's been no positives, no negatives. Maybe we didn't even notice each other, right? Food appeared, everything was great. End of the meal, I put my money in her hand and she was just so mean. Think about that. I am paying for the service that she rendered, and mean is how she responded. I feel like I would feel very confused and upset. I didn't deserve that. And that's gonna come out in my reading. Okay, let's try it one last time. I put my money in her hand and she was just so mean. My day went on and nothing was different, but somehow everything changed. I hope you guys saw a little bit of how her behavior affected me in that moment and how I chose to let that carry through into the monologue itself. acting isn't easy. There's a lot that goes into layering these emotions together, and there's also a lot of physical and mental gymnastics you have to do while you're layering those things emotionally. It's especially hard to do in a kind of a mode like this, right? Where I'm not physically in the room with you and you're not physically with me. So I am so proud of you for trying it. I hope you run off and find your audience somewhere today. There's 3 other things that I am hopeful for. Ready? Stay safe, be happy, make art. See you later.